Hope everyone's doing well. So I wanted to take a few minutes to explain the euro dollar real quick. I don't have a lot of time right now, but I'm going to make it a little short. So let's go to like a 4-hour chart. So here's a 4-hour chart of the euro dollar. And we have a channel, kind of a pretty small trend line break, big bar, second leg up. So it's possibly a second leg trap, top of the range. Now, this is TradeStation, so TradeStation doesn't support Forex. So it's going to look a little different than if you were on Orlando or things like that. But either way, the concept is still basically the same. And what I wanted to point out was just really this kind of situation. So if we go to, here's a 2-hour chart. So we have a bear bar pretty much closing when it's low, lots of bull bars, and a gap. This is probably not strong enough. Well, I think it's credible to get out of longs. I don't know if it's credible. I don't know how credible it is to sell. While I do think we're going down to here. Just as on the 2-hour chart or 4-hour chart, I think we're going down to here. Here's the issue though. I think it's honestly, it makes a lot of sense for somebody to be willing to buy down here. Now, the problem I have with that, which is why I wouldn't necessarily do it, is I think that, sorry, I have not used this, I don't use this computer much, and I'm trying to remember where background, there we go. Problem is I don't think we're going up here before we get down here, so I think anybody who sells stop up here will make money. Now, if somebody's willing to, sorry, I'm having to multitask a little. If somebody's willing to wait for bear bar closing down here, or consecutive bear bars, maybe on a 60-minute chart, maybe we get consecutive bear bars. The problem is this is just so tight that we're trying to reverse it, and I think we'll have to get at least a double top. So a few ways to go about that. You wait for bear bars closing on their lows. You can actually even set a limit order. I mean, think about it. Maybe you can set a limit order up here. So at this close, somebody bought this last bull bar, and that means there's trap traders. Let me just fix the scaling. There we go. I don't know. Whoops. May have messed something up. Yeah, that explains it. Let's try that. I'm just not thinking today. There we go. Okay. So the problem, it's reasonable to set a limit order and sell at this high close. You had traders who sold this close, disappointed by this bad follow through bar. And what they do? They sold out of longs at break even, and we turned down. You have other traders who will sell. They'll buy this close, buy more lower, look to get out of break even. So there is resistance up here. Now, the only problem is I don't know how far. I think there's a lot of potential for a second leg up, and I don't know how far the second leg. I don't know how big the second leg will be. While I do think, and this is the problem with trading, personally, so for me, if I was trading, let's say a 2-hour chart, it's normally not best to bounce around time frames, but if I was trading a 2-hour chart, I would wait for, and let me just go back to a 6-minute, just keep it consistent. So here's a first entry short. I think this will fail, and I think we'll get a small second leg, and we'll probably stall somewhere up here. I would either wait for consecutive bear bars, maybe big bear bars. I would say, so we have the channel. I think we're going back into the channel, but we may take a few bars. This channel's obvious on higher time frames. Therefore, it doesn't have to reverse within 5 bars. It could take 10 bars. If this is a 2-hour chart, look at that. Okay, now we have 5 bars on this time frame. So either way, the bulls are hoping for a gap, measure move up from here, 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 more likely just from here. Well, I don't think that'll happen. If I was trading this chart, I would definitely get out of shorts and wait. I'd get out of longs, excuse me. Maybe I'd sell if we got consecutive 2 or 3 big bear bars closing down here. I'd be more willing to sell if this bar triggered, we retested the highs and reversed down for a second entry. I'd be willing to sell. Either way, I would want to see more. There's just this is a gap, and we have to assume there's probably a 40% chance that this gap succeeds. And if it does, we'll go higher. So look at this chart. What do you notice? A trading range. So even if we go up to here, we're just breaking above this high. And on a 240-minute chart, we've been channeling down, spike pullback channel, major lower high. This is probably the last major lower high we've had. So, which one I want to see? 2 things with that. Since it's the last major lower high, I think we'll get above it. Which also means this could be a breakout. Now, what would be better for the bulls is if we get a follow-through bar. So what the bulls ultimately want, it'd make their trade easier. Maybe a breakout of a double bottom. So, double bottom, neckline, broke above it. So we'll have to see how this plays out. I think the easier trade, I believe, would be something like a bear, on a 240-minute chart, 4-hour chart, would be a bear bar closing down here and selling, betting that we get down to here. But again, I don't want to see a bear bar closing on its low down here. That'd be my preference. But again, I don't think we'll get that. I think we'll get, here's the 2 things I don't think we'll get. I don't think we'll get a bear bar closing down here on its low. I do not think we'll get a big bull bar closing on its high up here. I think we're going to get some sort of disappointing bar, a bar that's not good for the bulls and not great for the bears. I think that's what we're going to get. Maybe it's a bear bar that's big but closes at its midpoint. Maybe it's a doji. Maybe it's a bull doji. Well, I don't think I really don't even think we get a bull bar. Look at every breakout bar. Big bar sideways, big bar sideways, big bar bad follow through, big bars with tails. every one of these bars had bad follow through. So that's my belief. All right, thanks.